The National Weather Service confirming that 2 tornadoes were in our area. One of those, an EF1, touching down in Granger County around the Thorn Grove community. We don't have any reports of injuries from that particular storm. Unfortunately, that is not the case with the other tornado hitting in Morgan County around the Deer Lodge community. Now, the National Weather Service Storm Survey Team rating that tornado an EF2. You can see the damage done here. We had a trailer flipped over onto its roof, a home knocked down, its foundation blocks. It was a tornado which is blamed for 2 deaths, a mother and a daughter, plus 3 people were injured. And we showed you the damage done over in Granger County last night starting at 11. There's a large barn that was actually destroyed. Other barns had roof damage. Plus, we're told a tanker trailer was overturned and a church sustaining some damage as well. Now, we're getting a better look at the damage from last night's tornado outbreak as our Big 7 list rolls along. The Tennessee Highway Patrol sharing this aerial video showing the path of the tornado and the damage left behind in the Deer Lodge community. Again, the National Weather Service added that this is the first confirmed February tornado in Morgan County on record. That same storm system, by the way, spawned twisters across the state, also hitting Jackson, Putnam, and Overton counties. Now, this THP helicopter sharing this view of the damage also carried Governor Lee, giving him a tour of the destruction. He spoke today at the Deer Lodge Volunteer Fire Department about what he saw.
It's heartbreaking. It's also heartening to see the way neighbors and friends have already come out to serve, as well as the local officials here standing with me, County Mayor, EMS Director, Senator Yeager. The community has surrounded this community, and the rebuilding has just begun. But it's heartening to see what's already happening.
Congressman Chuck Fleischmann released a statement as well on his social media accounts following the news, saying in part, quote, "This is a horrible tragedy, and we pray to God for healing and comfort during these difficult times." Well, last night and again through today, we have had crews checking on the hard-hit areas, seeing the damage firsthand, and sharing stories of the people who experienced Mother Nature's fury. You know, usually 6 News anchor Bo Williams would be right here doing the 7 o'clock news. Instead, tonight he's in Morgan County. He's been following the impact from these tornadoes.
It has been a busy day here in Morgan County as families across the area continue to clean up following the tornado that made its way through this area, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. I had the opportunity to visit one group that were helping a neighbor who had, well, not only had the roof ripped off of her home, but saw the carport thrown across the highway. There was metal in the trees, but they were there to help clean up and help out their neighbor to try to help them get back on their feet.
I mean, buddy, it was a mess. There's, as you can see, there's 10 in the trees, and it's horrible out here. We got most of it picked up. There's 20 people out here at least.
Of course, that's just one of a number of areas that we made stops in today where crews and people were out trying to help one another and comfort each other as well. Let's check in right now with our own Naomi Hilmer. She was another part of Morgan County.
Right now, we are looking at some severe damage caused by the tornado that came through Morgan County last night. Right here, we have 2 houses that were upended during the storm. From talking to people here today, they say 2 families lived in these homes. We talked to one of the homeowners who was in his house when it lifted away. While he was able to make it out with some injuries, 2 of his neighbors died, a mother and her daughter. Their family is currently trying to find any mementos that may have been left behind, and their community is rallying behind them. We spoke to one family friend who was out trying to clear away debris, who said the community has suffered a major loss.
It's sad being here and knowing that, you know, a little girl died, and I knew her very well. She worked down at Harry's Market, you know, and her mom did too. So, but it's just, I mean, she couldn't have been 18, 19, just, you know, just getting ready for life, you know, and just had it shattered like that, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty devastating.
As you can see, there's been quite an effort being made to clear any debris that was caused by this storm, but the community does tell me it will be a while until it returns to normal again. In Morgan County, Naomi Hilmer, 6 on your side.
All right, Naomi, thank you. That is going to wrap things up from here in Morgan County. Please keep this community in your prayers as they are going through this now for the second time in less than a year. In Morgan County, I'm Bo Williams, WATE, 6 on your side.
Bo and Naomi, thank you very much. Tonight, there's even more damage to see coming out of Morgan County, everything from trees and houses to debris covering roads, RVs flipped upside down, houses torn apart. We also had a chance to speak with people about their experience with the storm. David Wallace says he saw the weather reports, but at first, there was no danger in sight. Then, just about 7 minutes later, Wallace says the wind picked up, the tornado came over his RV and flipped it. He describes the wind and lightning he saw and heard last night as something he'll never forget. Wallace explained throughout this tragedy that he's still seeing the community come together like it always does.
And all of a sudden, the wind picks up, and that old adage, if you hear a freight train, run. I heard a freight train, and what we have figured out, it came from that direction over the RV and like down that way.
Wallace says his next steps are clearing what he can around the property. Right, if you would like to help the people who've been so impacted, you can drop off donations at the Morgan County Road Department facility. They're looking for items, including clothing and household items. Now, the address you see there will serve as the central location to give items to victims who desperately need it. All right, big damage like this has come to Morgan County in the past. Less than a year ago, early April 2024, tornado touched down not far from the site of last night's path of damage, hitting near the center of Sunbright. A surveillance camera actually caught sight of a storm just tearing apart a funeral home, as you can see there kind of in the background. No one was inside at the time, fortunately. Several other businesses sustained damage as well. The National Weather Service determined this was an EF1 storm. No deaths were reported in that one. Then way back in 2002, 7 people were killed after an EF3 tornado touched down in the Mossy Grove area. Speeds for this one were estimated around 175 miles per hour.